raining again. Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode of MLS Ireland. Will I be bringing to you my predictions for weeks 2 of MLSisBack? So, I don't know, enjoy. Thank you very much for joining me this week. We're now currently into week 2 of MLS. I'm just currently after watching the Chicago Fire beat Seattle quite, I wouldn't say convincingly, but Seattle didn't really have that much of an answer really to Chicago Fire's more tenacity. Seattle just didn't really want it as much as I would have thought they did, because I predict 2-1 to them to win, not Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire got to the ball a lot of times, whereas Seattle took about 2 touches, too many to really get the ball into the box, but I'll talk about that later. As I said, this is my wee prediction show. If you like this, if you do, hit that subscribe button, like button, share, whatever the hell you like to do. And be commenting below what you think the predictions will be. Now let me get into the predictions. Its first game is on tonight or at 1 o'clock, which I don't think I may be up for because it's going to be very late and I'm back at work tomorrow, against Orlando. So NYC against Orlando. Orlando at home, technically, against New York City, who haven't scored yet. Going to be a good one, I think. I think Orlando will find themselves in a very good position for the first time probably ever. Nani looks like he's doing the real deal. They're kind of used to this heat too, as I stated so many bloody times that he cannot be great on your little brains, especially when you're defending, as you've already seen today in Seattle, where there's a lot of mistakes. So, saying that, NYC, will they score? I do hope so, just for the fact that I don't mind them. So, against Orlando, who really should probably be digging into this game very, very well. So they should get the result in the end of the day. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I do think NYC could score. They probably, if they do score, they will end up winning, winning the game. But I think Orlando may be 2 goals ahead, and then NYC is going to try and get back into the game. And of course, Orlando's not really that great at defending. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Orlando. I know, I don't think I've ever said Orlando to win ever. First time for everything, I suppose. Okay, Philadelphia against Inter Miami. They got beat by Orlando, which, okay, it's their first season in the thing, and their team really hasn't got together that perfectly yet against a very, very, very good Philadelphia team. What can I say? Philadelphia beat NYC during the week there, 1-0. They could have done better, but I do think Philadelphia have it in them to really beat Inter Miami in this game. Inter Miami should be a bit more up for it. They should know their tactics. They're used to the heat. Are they going to be the real deal this season? I don't think so. They do need that kind of one more signing, I think. Their defense is probably, everybody's defense, I suppose, is pretty bad in this. It's just because the heat, as I said, it's not really great on the brain. So I'm going to go for a Philadelphia 3-1 win. 3-1 I'm going to go for. The next one is Vancouver against San Jose. What can I say? San Jose didn't do too bad in their game. I can't remember. They drew with Seattle, which, when Chicago beat them, when you think about it, it's not really that great of a result, but it leaves it all open against Vancouver, who I don't think played their first game, so this is going to be an interesting one for them. Are they going to be any good at this? Vancouver are not a very good side. So, saying that, against San Jose, who aren't that bad, they should be used to this heat, as like I keep stating. Taking on a Vancouver team who are not really that great, don't really have that many strikers, can't really defend, so I'm going to go for a San Jose win. Short and sweet. San Jose should probably win this game by 2-0. Game's probably going to be a wee bit out of Vancouver's reach, unfortunately, and I think the quicker they want to get out of the competition to get away from COVID. Atlanta against Cincinnati. Atlanta, San Jose Cincinnati got stuffed by Columbus Crew, which says all about Cincinnati. They just don't really have it. Will Yapstam and De Jong have this bit better against Atlanta team who got beat by New York Red Bulls. So Atlanta, you think they would have it, but they just don't really seem to have it clicking at the moment. I don't think Frank de Boer really is an offensive manager that would suit Atlanta that well. I don't think their free at the back is suiting their tactics that much either. But again, it's going to be an interesting game. I think they are going to win this game, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Atlanta, just for the fact that Cincinnati are poor, basically. Montreal against Toronto. Ooh, Canadian game. It's going to be a good one. Montreal with Thierry Henry, Victor Wanyama in their team, against Toronto, who looked actually pretty good till DC got a player sent off and then they fucked it up. It's kind of like a Tottenham team. Against Montreal, who got beat as well. It's gonna be. I don't know about this one. It is a tricky one. They got beat by New England, which wasn't a bad result, but for Montreal, who were doing quite well in the Champions League, they kind of need to pick this up. Toronto really need to get going again after a disappointing draw against DC United. Is it disappointing? Probably, when they let the goal in near the end. So against 10 men, which is completely stupid and kind of messed up my bet. Thank you. Anyway, Montreal, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Montreal will probably be a bit more up for this game, and I think Toronto will try not to lose, if that makes any sense. Two teams are going to try not to lose in this competition, so I think the next game after this, the two teams are going to go for it. And then it's Columbus Crew, 4-0 winners against Cincinnati, against New York Red Bulls, who were 1-0 against Atlanta. Columbus Crew, I do like Columbus Crew. Will they beat Red Bulls? It's a tricky one. Red Bulls do look more on it. They're a bit more feisty, if that makes any more sense. They kind of really went at Atlanta quite well during the game, whereas Atlanta really just couldn't really cope with that. Columbus Crew, I didn't get to see their game, but 4-0 winners in any competition, even in this competition, is pretty good. So when you think about it like that, Columbus Crew probably will get a good result in this, so I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I could be majorly wrong in this one, so don't put any bets on what you hear me say, so disclaimer. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw on that one. As I said, I was watching that Seattle game. Seattle didn't really fill me with too much hope. They seemed to just take too many touches, whereas Chicago Fire really got to the ball quite quickly and looked more that they were up for the game. So that's probably the reason why Seattle didn't do too good, and I don't really think they're going to. Well, again, Seattle start very slowly in everything that they do, so they could end up winning the fucking thing, knowing Seattle. So again, Chicago Fire looking alright. The only thing is crap about them at the moment is that stupid badge, but whatever. So what else did I hear over the weekend? Minnesota looked good. Another game that completely fucked up my bets because of a red card, but what can you do? Unfortunately, what else did I watch? Toronto game, DC United. Again, another game completely messed up because of a red card. LAFC against Houston Dynamo. That was an interesting game. I did, if you were listening in the last prediction, I did say Houston Dynamo were going to be very offensive on the counter attack, and I was quite right about that. I didn't think LAFC would let in 3 goals. I did think probably Houston would let in 3 goals, but I didn't think it would be a 3-3. Pretty good game actually, but Houston Dynamo on the counter attack, that's basically what they're great at, and they're against a team who love to have the ball. It was kind of fed into their hands, so it's kind of like the Man City against Celtic game like years ago when Pep Guardiola had his team unbeaten and free everything. They had all their games won, and then they went to Celtic Park, and Celtic Park just basically beat them on the counter attack, and the game ended 3-0, which was a pretty good result. So when you think a look about that, Houston are looking good, so congratulations to them. And as I said, so thank you very much for joining me. This is my prediction show, and if you like, hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I'm up to doing very well at the moment. I'm 100 miles off 1,000, so I'm not really expecting that to be anytime soon. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next one, which would probably be Friday. Could be. Anyway, thank you and good luck. Bye.